Do you sometimes feel stuck in life? I do. And I wonder sometimes if our me consumeristic spirituality has to do with it. I wonder if there is actually power in looking outward. There's actually power in giving and sacrifice. Well, I do believe that God cares about every single detail of our needs. But this Sunday, we're going to do something different. We're going to invite you to look outward beyond the walls of our lives. And let's experience the power as we look outward together as a community. A couple of our friends did just that. They spent a week, more than just a week actually. They just got back from a short-term mission trip in Transkei. And this next 10 minutes, you'll see a glimpse of it. You'll see the glimpse of joy. You see the glimpse of energy that came into these people's life as they sacrifice and they give. Because Jesus said it's more blessed to give than to receive. You want to do that together? Let's do it. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And say cheese, say hallelujah, say gloria Deus. We give you all the glory, we give him all the glory, Christ the Lord.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our channel. As we're gathered here today in the presence of the Lord, Amen.
Happy birthday to Sally. Happy birthday to you. Hey.
now the ladies here are having to do the preparation for the cooking on the floor. So with the small little table, they now no longer have to work on the ground. So they have a small little surface they can work on. And after this, we're going to make them a little kitchen table as well. So we're going to use that side.
Soki omoni bombaka na motema ekoluka ndongo bandeko bomba makambo bomba makambo likambo eboma mboka.
Cameraman is putting me on the spot, but I'm here at Coffee Bay, enjoying the sunshine and weather, enjoying the children.
Zala na maele soki oyoki likambo zala na maele tango bakotuna yo bandeko.
It's been fulfilling. Just seeing the kids playing around, they're so competitive, but playing around and appreciating little things like playing soccer, playing cricket. We do that.
Confuses me.
We are heroes.
Coffee Bay, been a total blessing. So blessed to be able to serve the community here of Coffee Bay. The kids just put in smiles on our faces on a daily basis, and that's all through the grace of God. So.
Go down, I'm going to.
Sa Satana sa fikila sa tumisa tena Satana sa fikila sa tumisa tena Jalo 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 Jalo.
You know, the experience that you've taught us, in fact, I call it missionary work, because those people, they were on mission, and that was the mission for the development of a poor and a vulnerable child. You may never know what we have planted in the lives of those kids, seeing and getting hope in a hopeless situation, seeing people coming all the way from Cape Town to come and to be with them in a rural setting like Mtandule and Coffee Bay. So thank you very much, Pastor Jeff, and the leadership of TPC for the kindness that you have given us, that you have shown us, and for the sacrifice that you have made, because it did not come cheap. Somebody had to pay. Somebody had to fork some money from the pocket to make that trip to be a success. Somebody had to sacrifice his good bed, because that kind of sacrifice has helped us all, so that we can actualize what it means to be brothers and sisters, what brotherhood means and what partnership means. Partnering between a rural church and a cosmopolitan church. I think I've spoken too much. I'm a preacher.
Did you enjoy that little report, that video report? I did, and I think that the area that those people went to is a spectacularly beautiful area. Let me add my voice of welcome to that of Hans's and say welcome to you. If you are just dropping in, you don't consider yourself formally a part of the TPC, the People's Church family in Constantia, I want to say, just regard yourself as a welcome guest today. And I'm glad that you've joined us. And we're going to be reporting to the congregation about the things that have happened. You've seen the clip already. You've heard what Hans has had to say. And living in South Africa, we need special skills. We are a community, a society in turmoil. And we need great strength in order to navigate life here. Standing at the robot, waiting for the light to turn green, can be a stressful experience as people come to your window and you say, do I give or do I not? Do I wind down my window or do I not? This is so inconvenient, go away. It just brings stress to our lives. Sometimes I pick my route so as to avoid certain robots where I'll get badgered by people. And what does that mean for me as a Christian? And what does that mean as a church? These are things that we have to wrestle with. Jesus told stories. A lot of what he said came in the form of stories. And sometimes his stories had the effect of chucking a rock into a nice tranquil pond. It just disturbed things. One of the stories that he told was the story of the Good Samaritan. Not the good Sam Harrison, the Good Samaritan. And there he tells about someone who got mugged lying on the side of the road. And when you see someone mugged just lying on the side of the road, is he drunk? There must be something dodgy here. Is this a setup? And all types of thoughts come through. And people avoided him. And then one person came and helped him extremely generously. And today in our everyday language, we talk about a good Samaritan as someone who comes to help you repair your puncture when you're stranded on the side of the road, or when you slip in the checkers and you go flying and you've sprained your ankle, someone who phones your family for you to come and help you. That's called a good Samaritan. So it's become a part of our language. That whole story wasn't told to demonstrate kindness. That story was told to answer one question. The question was, who is my neighbor? In other words, who am I responsible for? And in our land, in order to protect our own souls, in order to protect our own lives, we are overwhelmed with the need around us. And so we try to minimize our responsibility because we can't be responsible for everyone. If you're in Cape Town and you drive along the Baden-Powell Drive today, you will see that there are more shacks up to the edge, going right up to the edge of the road, more shacks today than there were last week when you drove there. And so the conversation will go, where do these people come from? And so it becomes these people and me. We cut them out of our area of responsibility. And so we as a church have got to take responsibility for those that are on the outside. But we have to, we can't change the world for everybody. But we've got to do something that we have the ability to do. Jesus told another story that is quite a dramatic story. He's talked about at the end of the time. You read this story in Matthew chapter 25. There he says it's the day of judgment, and people get lined up and as the sheep and the goats, the good guys and the bad guys. You can read that story. And there it says, you are considered one of the good guys because I was in prison and you came and visited me. I was naked and you gave me something to wear. I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. People say, when did we do that? We've never even met you before. And he says, as much as you do it to one of these little ones, you do it to me. And then the indictment for the goat people is that when you saw me in need, you never did anything. They said, we'd never seen you in need. We would have helped you if we'd seen. He says, when you ignore someone who is in need, one of these little ones, it's the same as ignoring me. So it's clear from Jesus' stories that what happens to the little ones, what happens to the poor, what happens to the needy is important to him. He takes our attitude to the fragile elements of our society. He takes it personally. He regards it as something to do with him. And so we as a church regard ourselves as responsible. There's a document called The Church That I Can See. And in that document, we talk about this as Africa's moment. It'll have come up on the screen at some point. We are here for the voiceless. We are here for the weak. We are here in order to help people. But we can't help everybody, but we can help somebody. Remember that story? You know the story, but just let me tell you the story again of where a whole mountain of starfish were washed up on the beach, and they were there, they were going to die in the sun, and a little boy was throwing a starfish into the sea, and an observer said, what are you doing? He said, I'm rescuing starfish. He said, you'll never be able to move all these starfish, there's just too many of them. And the little boy took up a starfish, and he flicked it into the ocean, said, made a difference to that one. And we are doing the starfish exercise, making a difference to somebody. So people from the church went up to Nkanduli, MQ. I can't get my tongue around these things. There are 3 types of clicks, I'm told. But they went there, and then they went down to Coffee Bay. They collected pallets. The church in Coffee Bay collected pallets to give raw wood. They taught them woodwork. We went, and the team went and did games with the kids, and they had a fantastic time, gave them Bible lessons. They taught them handcraft and so on, and just connected with people. They found it was a wonderful, wonderful experience, making friends, connecting with people on the other side. They crossed the road like the Good Samaritan did, and met somebody who was in need. And it was a wonderful experience for the people that were there and the people that were here. And that is what we are celebrating right now. Up to now, we've been doing Hope Bags. Hope Bags was during the lockdown, and a total amount, I've got it written down, a total amount of 350 340,000, if I round up by a couple of hundred rand, was given by you folk in order to give groceries to people who were in extreme distress. That is a remarkable, remarkable achievement. Made a difference to widows around and about. And so that is something that we should celebrate. But now that COVID crisis is past, needy people are still here. What are we going to continue doing? Well, beyond these walls is our activity, the things that our responsibility for the person who's on the other side of the road. We as a congregation need to cross the road to see what's wrong and to see how we can help the person that's on the other side of the road. So this trip to the Eastern Cape was just such an exercise. I'm so proud of the team, so proud of the way that they blended. It was very diverse in terms of age and every other measure. It was a diverse team, but they pulled together and they are so connected to each other. They found the truth of this: it is better to give than it is to receive. So they went and gave of their time and their energy. You gave of your finances. I'm not going to give you a challenge. I'm not going to be apologetic about this at all. We as a church need to pull together to make a difference, to get that starfish back in the ocean, to attend to the Good Samaritan, to visit the person who's in prison, to clothe the person who doesn't have clothes, to feed the person who is hungry and needs some food, the person who's needy, in other words, whatever their needs might be. And so it's not just a question of Sunday morning inside these walls, it's a question of beyond these walls, things that happen outside. We need your help. We all need to pull together. If ever there was a time of need, there's never been a greater time of need than there is right now. People give every single month to Beyond These Walls. You might not know what Beyond These Walls has been up to now. Beyond These Walls speaks about everything that happens outside of the church walls. The trip to the Eastern Cape would be one example. We support missionaries. We support Matt and Savannah Mackey. Matt comes from this church. His family is in this church, the Mackey family. And Savannah, born in the United States, they serve the Lord up in Zambia. We are their sending church. We are responsible for them, to give them moral support, to give them encouragement, to make sure that they are keep strong, and to help support them financially. We need your help to do that. We are also the sending church for Nick and Lynn Swanepoel. Nick and Lynn Swanepoel served 38 years, I think it was, up in northern Kenya. It was a harsh environment in which they served. Their health suffered as a consequence. They've now retired to the UK, although Nick is still busy with translation work. He's a Wycliffe missionary as well. But we provide them with a salary, not with a salary, with a pension. We need your help to continue caring for Nick and Lynn. It's the least we can do. So every single month, people give. Charlotte and JC Kutsia, also up on the Mongu base. It's a phenomenal story, that base and everything that has happened there. We support them as well. We're not their sending church, but we do care for them. We support missionaries, ministers in Mozambique. What am I saying? What am I saying? I'm saying that we need to work together. Can you help us? Can you put together an amount, a monthly amount, and send it to Beyond These Walls? This is over and above tithes. This is something that you do extra, so that we as a team, the People's Church team, can cross the road in order to help the person that has got mugged by life, so that we can go and visit the person who is in prison, that has got there through some event or another, the person who has no clothes, or the person that is hungry, that we can help such people, and we can help those people that are helping the people as well. And so there is stationery that'll come up. There is information that'll come up on the screen. And I want you to consider what you can do to work together with us to make an impact beyond these walls. God bless each one of you.